Jack Knight Winners. This is Jack Frost University, and this is my third video in my series entitled 66 Reasons to Hate the Federal Government, London, and Rome. Okay? It's pretty cloudy out here. It's nighttime. Sun just went down in beautiful Boulder, Colorado. Got a thunderstorm brewing. Oop, oh, you see that? Got a thunderstorm brewing here. I love thunder. I love lightning. It's nice. So, it always cools things down in the summer too. I guess I'll just keep it over there so you can see the thunderstorms. So, okay. Third video, okay? Another reason to hate the federal government, London, and Rome, okay? So, and this is also kind of like a State of the Union address. Union meaning the 50 sovereign states, okay? So, here's the thing. And I do a lot of studying and research, and I'm really, really good at it. So I'm going to share with you what I've learned so far. Get as much information as I can out there. If you look, you're basically just, we're numbers. We're all being treated as numbers, which is rather impersonal, and it definitely makes, we're slaves. We're indentured servants, okay? So if you order your birth certificate, okay, if you look on the back of your birth certificate, or if you look on the front, you're going to see there's a red alphanumeric code. It's 9, it should be 9 numbers or letters in length, okay? It's called a CUSIP number, C-U-S-I-P, okay? It's a CUSIP number, okay? All securities instruments get a CUSIP number. It's a way of tracking securities and stuff like that. Every stock, every bond, every like checking account, everything that's monetary and some kind of security where it has a value, it has a CUSIP number, okay? If you look on the back of your birth certificate, you're going to see, I can pull it out here. I can pull out my Social Security card, actually. But if you look at on the back of your birth certificate, you're going to see this red number on there. It's 9 numbers in length. There's some letters in there as well at the very beginning, I think. So, I don't know if I want to show you mine. This is my, here, I'm not going to show you the whole thing, but see that red number, okay? So you have your Social Security number on the front, but then you have this red number on the back, okay? There's a reason for that. Number one, this doesn't belong to you. Look, it says, this card belongs to the Social Security Administration, and you must return it if we ask for it, okay? Why is that? If it's yours, isn't it yours? It's not yours, okay? It's not yours. It's a security instrument. And the reason why you have to give it back if they ask for it is because it's not yours. This should make you ask questions and wonder, okay, about things. Ask questions. Question reality, question religion, question government, question everything. Especially religion and government, okay? So, the back of your birth certificate, as well as the Social Security card, has this CUSIP number on it. It's a red number, okay? 9-digit alphanumeric code. Also, if you look at your birth certificate, you're going to see that it's printed on securities paper. Think about that. It's printed on securities paper, okay? That is a security. It's a bond. Your birth certificate is a bond, and it's worth a lot of money. I don't know how to tap into it yet, but it's worth a lot of money. And the reason why we have that is, and I'll talk about the history of America and stuff in a little bit, but we've basically been pledged, our physical bodies have been pledged as a surety to pay off the nation's debt, okay? I think it's like $23 trillion or something right now. So we're slaves. All of us here in America are slaves, and we speak a slave language. We speak Babylon. We speak gibberish. We don't even know how to speak because we don't know how to speak like they do in England, okay? English common law. So The birth certificate is just a bond which represents a value, okay? And we were given this at birth, this birth certificate. And so let me talk about the history. Briefly, the history of America is this, okay? We came together, we had our Revolutionary War, okay? We got our independence, I guess. And and we made these 50 sovereign states eventually, okay? 50, we had sovereign states, the 50 sovereign states, and everyone was a state citizen. And every state had its own personality, its own characteristics, had its own constitution, had its own laws, had its own everything, okay? We were all individual. And somewhere along the road, we decided that we should probably pull our resources together and form a federal government to protect ourselves from other countries, right? You need a big army, big navy, stuff like that. Other nations, as they were, using their ships to come over, they started to become a threat. So we ganged up, pulled our money together, states' money, and we formed a federal government. Okay, well, what happened was, and I don't know who, what happened was, someone either through financial loans or through war had won some kind of scrimmage with us. We lost, because that's what we do in America. We're a bunch of fucking losers. We don't know how to win here. It's ridiculous. It's really horrible. I'll make another video on that. But so we lost this war. What we had to do is we owed a lot of money to these people, and it might be the Federal Reserve. I don't know yet, but we owed a lot of money, and we owed a lot of gold and silver. Okay. And what they did was they pledged, we didn't have enough money to pay them, so we pledged our future labor of all of the citizens, okay? And we used to have this constitution called the Constitution for the United States of America, but the United was a lowercase u, which is an adjective, okay? States of America is a noun, okay? This Constitution was actually a contract. It's considered in law to be a contract. And what we did was we contracted with a federal government that we created, okay, to provide us services. And the services that the federal government was supposed to provide for the 50 sovereign states were these 19 enumerated Bill of Rights. Notice how it's called a Bill of Rights. It's because they're not free. You got to pay for them. We hear all this, we hear all this stuff, these words, but they don't really mean anything because we don't really, like I said, we're speaking Babylon. We're speaking gibberish. If you don't speak law, you're speaking gibberish. So it's a Bill of Rights. You got to pay for the bill. It's a bill. That's why in the Congress they pass the bill. That's why they always get really excited when they pass the bill. Yes, because they don't have to pay the bill. They're passing it on to us. That's why they're so excited. That's why they're all applauding and they say, yeah, we passed the bill, finally. Yeah, they passed it right to us, okay? Another thing to note, so your birth certificate is a bond, okay? It's your slave bond, okay? It's your slave bond. That's all it is. And there's a CUSIP number on it, okay? It's the securities. You type in that CUSIP number, I think you can actually find, I have a friend that says he found out the value of that bond. I don't really understand how it's so high. So we've been pledged, as our physical bodies have been pledged as a surety to pay off the nation's debt. Okay? Most people, I don't think, will ever even figure this out. I don't want to be a slave. And the reason why I'm even investigating this and researching all this is because, Paradise Campfire, right? In Campfire in Paradise, California, the whole city just got burned up to a crisp. People are sitting in their homes, they're in their cars. They literally just got fried by a direct energy weapon, see? I was living over in that area, and I would have been buying real estate in that area 20 years ago. That could have been me, so now I see why I got out of that area. Now I see why I wasn't allowed to buy any real estate over there, so that's why. I research these things to know, to protect my future and to make sure I'm prosperous. Even if other people want to be broke and, you know, and miserable and they want to get fried to a crisp in their house, that's fine. That's up to them. But I need to know these things. So, birth certificate is a bond, okay? We're all Roman slaves. And there's different terminologies to describe this. You could say London classifies us as either dead or living. The dead don't have any rights. Okay, you don't have rights. You know, if you go to jail before you're even found guilty, these cops, the sheriff's department will open up your wallet, take your money out. They take $50 out to pay for their jail fees. I mean, think about that for a minute. How are they taking your money when you haven't even been found guilty? Okay? We don't have rights. There's no rights. There's no right to travel. You don't have gun rights. If you have to get a permit to get a gun, that's not a right, that's a privilege. If they can take it away, it's a privilege. You know? Traveling is a right, but driving is a privilege. That's why they say driving is a right, it's not a privilege. I mean, they say driving's a privilege, not a right. Well, they're correct. That's 100% accurate. But driving is a commercial term, and most people aren't using their cars for commercial reasons. So, we're under this heavy burden, but we're all doing it voluntarily because we're stupid. And I'm tired of being stupid, so looks like it's raining pretty bad. Hold on a second. Alright, so I'm in my car. It's actually raining. It's like super dark. I've been doing all these videos when it's dark lately. So, the birth certificate is a bond, okay? Rights aren't free. You actually have to pay for them. That's why they're called a bill. So, they're called a Bill of Rights, right? Somewhere along the road, however, that legitimate government, with its contract called the Constitution for the United States of America, undercase U, okay? That U, that United, was a adjective in the original Constitution, okay? It was an adjective. It was a descriptor. It was describing the States of America, where the States of America was a noun, a person, place, or thing, okay? What happened was, and I don't know when, it's 1871, right after Civil War, it looks like, the Federal Reserve came in, and they created this charter, this company, this corporation in the state of Delaware. And I might be getting some details mixed up a little bit, but they're minor details. The majority of what I'm saying is correct. It's just the minor details. They created this corporation in Delaware. And everyone, if you know anything about tax laws, you know that Delaware and Nevada, they don't have any state sales tax. So most big corporations choose to incorporate in Delaware for tax reasons and for all other kinds of reasons. You can get away with a lot by incorporating in Nevada or Delaware. So they incorporated the Federal Reserve in Delaware, okay? But they were calling themselves by the name of United States of America with a capital U. Therefore, instead of United now being an adjective, it's now a noun. It's part of the title instead of describing the title. It's like shadowy black Escalade, where shadowy is the descriptor. Well, they took the shadowy, instead of describing the black Escalade, they're including that in the title of the vehicle. So it's called semantic deceit, and it's not illegal, but it's not unlawful, I guess, but it's just highly deceptive. It's called semantic deceit, okay? When they created this government, they then created the states, the state of Colorado, the state of Arizona. But these were duplicates, and they weren't the actual states. It's still a part of a business, okay? It's deception, because they're operating in not in full disclosure, and that's part of contract law. Is you must have full disclosure. There must be a meeting of the minds before you enter into contract, okay? And then the Federal Reserve, because in 1933, okay, FDR made everyone turn in their gold, okay? So this is, they're taking our gold. We don't have any gold in this country anymore. And I think we used to have a lot of it, okay? They took our gold in 1933. The Federal Reserve did. They took it all. Okay, we all owed them gold, and what they allowed us to trade is now this stuff right here. Okay, but what does that say at the top right there? See that? Federal Reserve Note. You know what a note is? It's a promissory note. Okay, this note, it says right here. See that? Right there. I just can't see that. It says this note is legal tender, not lawful money. There's a difference between lawful money and legal tender, okay? This note is legal tender for all debts, public and private, okay? And as I said, it's a securities, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, CUSIP number. I think that's what's called a CUSIP number. See that red? Is it red? I don't know what it is. But isn't it funny how it's a securities instrument, so therefore it's got a number attached to it. Okay? This also is, this is a note. It's a promissory note. Okay? This isn't money. It's not lawful money. The only lawful money is gold and silver. Okay? And I said this before. Gods focus on land, gold and silver, and human labor. If you don't have gold and silver, you don't have anything, really. Okay? You're just... We're passing this stuff around to pay off our debts. But this has no value. It's just a dollar bill. And guess where this goes? When all is said and done, this belongs to the Federal Reserve. Just like it says, right? What does it say there? Federal Reserve Note. Okay? The United States of America. Well, that's not the original United States of America. Okay, that's not the one that Benjamin Franklin started. So this says a Federal Reserve Note. This is one of the ways that they get you in their jurisdiction of the federal governments, is because you're using the benefits of this currency. They've supplied this currency, we're using it. It's an implied contract. Nothing's ever free. This all has to go back to the Federal Reserve, you guys. So it doesn't matter. It's actually this. There's a reason why they call it a dollar bill. Have you heard that before? It's a dollar bill, and you put the dollar bill in your billfold, your wallet. It's a dollar bill. What does that tell you? What I say about bills? When have you ever? It's deception. It has no value. It's just a piece of dollar. It's debt. So we're all just passing debt back and forth, but because it's a bill, you have to pay this. That's all it is a dollar bill. Congratulations, the more of this you collect, the more money you owe. Lawful money, because you're supposed to be paying gold and silver, but... So this all has to go back to the Federal Reserve when all is said and done, because it's not yours. It doesn't matter what you're told on Saturday Night Live, or CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, it's all meant to deceive and confuse you, okay? But this is not yours. And it doesn't matter if you save up millions and millions and millions of these. The Federal Reserve has every authority to take this out of your bank account and keep it for themselves for any reason that they see fit. Okay? And if you don't think this happens, study history, because if you don't study history, you're condemned to repeat it. Man, this is loud. I don't know if you can hear me. So, if you don't study history, you're condemned to repeat it. If you study the financial meltdown of Greece, I know it's like 10 years ago, and then also Cyprus, okay, Cyprus and Greece, look at Venezuela, study this stuff, man, you got to understand this, because there's a hyperinflation coming in. This happens all the time, you guys. The Federal Reserve, I don't know if it's the Rothschilds or what, but they bounce around from country to country throughout this planet, setting up these schemes to trick people, and it sucks, because people they work their whole lives for this money, and then the government takes it anyway. The government takes it away. If you study Greece and Cyprus and Venezuela, you know that they had this thing with the International Monetary Fund where they owed the International Monetary Fund all this money. They couldn't pay their debt, so what they do, they took out all of the money out of their bank accounts of all the citizens of Greece and Cyprus. They just took it out, And you guys, you're not going to hear about this in mainstream media. They're never going to, just like they never admit that the insurance companies don't pay out in hurricanes. Hurricane Katrina, Hurricane this, Hurricane Billy, Hurricane Bobby, whatever their names are. When thousands of people's houses get destroyed, you guys, by flood, fire, earthquakes, these insurance companies don't pay. And you'll never hear about it on mainstream media, okay? I don't really see much point in gathering up too much of this because, you know, they'll take it right out of your bank account. And I don't really care about people saying, oh, we have FDIC, we have FDIC deposit insurance and our money's guaranteed. Nothing's guaranteed in life, dude. Come on. Nothing's guaranteed in life. We're talking about humanity here. There's no guarantees in life. So before you go get a bunch of kids and settle down with a house and everything, you know, you want to get educated and know that this is legal tender, but it's not lawful money. And the government, the federal government, they can take this away from you at any moment. Okay, you don't have any rights. So I guess that's all I wanted to say for now. I don't even know if you can hear me, but...